Awesome. So today we're going to be talking about foot mechanics, and we're going to talk about how foot mechanics can actually influence your hip mobility and also your lower back pain as well. Now, before we dive in, if this is your first call, want to make sure whenever you want to ask the questions, you're shared the win of the week first, and then you're able to go ahead and ask your questions. Okay. And we're going to cover all the questions regarding to today's topics, and then we're going to cover other questions that might just be related to your personal personal exercise. So now let me share my screen real quick here. Can you guys see this okay? Okay. Now, so you can just raise your hand. So anybody's now on this call know why we need to focus so much on your foot. Any guess? Why I really hate all those yeah, let me just find one, like probably the exercise that I hate the most. That will be 90-90 hip mobility. Oops, my spelling is crazy. Sorry about this, guys. Now, nothing against this dude, but anybody here know why I hate exercise like this? Why I never use those sort of exercise? Just moving your hips around. Any guess? You can unmute yourself.
Because it doesn't account for ground reaction forces.
Nice. Well, that's why you're the chemistry teacher,
Yeah.
because you learn, right? So the things with those exercise, and I'll stop sharing my screen as well, is so all those 90-90 exercise, okay, you just lay on the ground and you just rotate your femur basically. But that is not gonna do anything. Okay. So to truly assess your hip rotations, internal rotations and external rotations, so you can walk properly with relative motions and without hurting your lower back, to actually do this, you need to apply force into the ground. So your tibia can move and your femur can move and then your pelvis can move alongside with it. So let me show you this. This is the picture we're looking for. So you need to really apply the force into the ground. So your foot can pronate, your tibia can rotate inward, your femur can rotate inward, and then your pelvis can access internal rotations. And that is what we're looking for. Now, just by, moving through your pelvis, moving through your femur, through this range of motion, doesn't really mean anything. That's why you can do a lot of those exercises for years, and then you get up, you move around, you retest your range of motion, internal rotation, external rotation, your body back to ground zero because your body have no idea what this exercise means. Now, don't get me wrong, if you already have pretty good hip range of motion, hip mobility, you can 100% use exercise like this to warm up your body before the game or before any other activities. But most of us on this call, you have back pain, which means you don't have a really good hip mobility. So you're not supposed to do this exercise to make your back feel looser. You need to do other exercise that take your foot, take your tibia, take your femur, pelvis into account. So that way, once you change your range of motion, you can do exercise like this to help you maintain looser, basically. Okay. And that's the first reason why we gotta train your foot, because the foot is basically the first things that ever touch the ground. Now, if your foot can't pronate properly, your tibia will stuck. If your tibia is stuck, your femur is stuck. Now, and then you're probably gonna have some knee problem. Now, if your femur is stuck, then your pelvis cannot access this internal rotations. So a lot of time when people say, hey, I want to trim my pelvis, I want to move my hip from external rotation to the internal rotations, but they don't consider anything on the ground, well, they're just doing themselves a disservice. Everything start at the bottom. And that would be the first key to unlock your hip mobility. You need to understand the full mechanics alongside with everything else. But this one is super simple. Okay. Any question on this part? All good? Crystal clear? Give me a thumbs up if yes. All right. Cool. Now, the second part to unlock your hip mobility is the full reference. So you really need to make sure when you walk, when you do all those mobility drills, like all the mobility drill we give you, like 90-90 hip lift, like some of you are doing a single leg hinge, or just when you're on the ground, gonna do the grounding exercise. All of that, you need to make sure you specifically emphasize on 1 and 3. Again, the reason why we do this, the base of your first metatarsal head and your inner heel. When you focus on those 2 points, here is what's gonna do to your foot arch. Once you press in, you focus on those 2 points, your foot arch it is going to drop. Now, once your foot arch is able to drop, your tibia will rotate inward a little bit as well. This motion is what we're looking for, okay? Now, once your tibia can move, then your femur can move. Once your femur can move, your pelvis can move. And that is why you really need to focus on those 2 points so your arch can actually drop into the floor. Now, it's not going to be this obvious, okay? It will be super subtle, but you're going to feel the difference. Now, if you're constantly on the outside edge of your foot, your tibia are going to be stuck in the external rotated positions. And but your body also need internal rotation. So a lot of time you're going to see, okay, people's tibia is actually turning outward, but their femur is turning inward. So they have this bow leg structures. And I'll show you real quick as well. If I can see a really good one. Yeah. Really, really typical presentations. Pretty high foot arch presentation as well. So now here is what happened. Now, from these pictures, it looks like your femur is actually in internal rotation. Your tibia is actually in external rotations. So that looks like exactly the opposite of what I was talking about. But here's the thing. I think this person got into this presentation for way too long. So that is how his body actually compensate. Now, so the first compensation should be, okay, right now your tibia actually moving in and then your femurs is moving out. Now he's doing the exact opposite because he losing too much of losing too much of internal rotation. So he just literally turn his leg out so he can fake a little bit internal rotations. And this is not what we're looking for. So if you have like this, it's not gonna be a huge problem if you don't have any pain, but if you do have pain, there's gonna be a major problem for you. Yeah, this one is gonna be a better pictures. If I can move this a little bit higher. Um, Strange where the picture goes. But essentially, you know what am I talking about? You need to make sure, okay, we can actually drop your full arch, tibia move inward, femur move inward so your pelvis can move. Now, everything else, like X leg or bow leg, is not gonna help. with your hip mobility. Now, if you already have this type of presentation, no worries. You can 100% improve your range of motion, your hip mobility as well, and get to a point where your body is pretty balanced and you don't feel any pain, even if you already have this presentation. But the key here is, again, you need to make sure you focus on point 3 and point 1 on your full contacts. Now, everybody, let's get on the floor real quick. Just quickly retest your range of motion, quickly retest your hip internal, external rotations. Just want to get a little bit reference point. And then I want you to take off your shoes. I want you to walk barefoot. And then I just really want you to focus on those 2 points when you walk. And then hopefully you're going to feel a lot better full contacts. And then you're going to feel a lot more glute engagement as well. So just quickly walk around and see what happens. But get your assessment first so we can test before and after. So really simple. We're just gonna do a pronation drill, which means now we're gonna teach you, all right, how to move your foot through pronations. Now, let me open this up. Now, let's try. So I want you to grab something so you can stabilize your body. Let's just try this on your right foot. Okay. Can you hear me okay? Ooh,
Sorry.
we have this. Yeah, it's okay. We have this echo going on, so you probably need to close one of your camera, I think. Or like you need to, yeah. Okay, cool. So I will show you this exercise. I will just show you the motion of it, and I want you to stand up. This exercise is actually super easy. I'll just show you the motion of it, and then I'll walk you through how to do this one more time. Okay. Literally that's it. But there's a couple things to point out is now you need to get into the stagger stand. So the right foot will be a little bit forward, the left foot will be a little bit back. Okay. And I actually want you to hold on to something. So you can hold on to a chair as well. Doesn't really matter. Okay. And then I want you to fully lock up your knee, your right knee specifically. Fully locked up, 100% locked up. Now, majority of your body weight. Now, so you're gonna put a 50% body weight at the front, another 50% at back. But you know, the 50% body weight on the front side should be about 80 to 90% on your heel first. So you're gonna feel you have a pretty good arch around your right foot right now. If you can feel that, give me a quick thumbs up. Prentice, don't have to do that exercise right now. I'll walk you through it. Okay. Fully lock up your knee first. Okay. Now find your way on your heel first. And then I want you to find the 3-point contact at the bottom of your foot. Only on the right side though. If you can do that, give me a quick thumbs up. Amazing. Okay. Now, really, really deep inhale. And then exhale, I want you to move your knee relatively in a line with your big toes. Now, here is what's really important. Take a look at the camera real quick. I want you to feel the weight transfer from the outside of your heel, transfer this way all the way to the base of your big toe right here. So it's like a diagonal line. All right. Okay. Going back, lock up your knee. Okay. Inhale through your nose, exhale. As you go, feel the weight transfer. If you can feel the weight transfer, give me a quick thumbs up. All right. let's just do the same motion for about 5 more times, and then don't even walk, get on the floor. We're gonna retest your assessment right away as well. And trying to keep your foot as quiet as possible, meaning don't grip your toes, don't try to make your foot a lot of tensions, just trying to relax your foot as much as possible. And you need to feel your arch is dropping into the ground. Fully lock up first on the outside edge of your heel. Exhale as you go. Now, once we can do that, is really about, okay, now we need to learn how to transition from it. So number three, going to be the weight transfer. So the weight transfer should be on the outside edge of your heel, and then you feel like it's dropping, and then to the base of the first metatarsal head. It should be this diagonal line when you walk, when you do squat, when you do any other activities. Now, again, if you have pain, pay more attention to it. If you don't have any pain, you have a pretty good mechanics. Don't worry too much about it. So the goal is, once you guys are out of this pain, you can just do this because your body knows this already. But if you have this pain right now, pay close attention about your full reference, how you transfer your body weight. You never ever want to always walk on two and one. You always want to feel all three, but more so on those two as you walk. And that's how you unlock your everything's, not only just the foot mechanics, but also a lot of time. If you do this right, you're gonna fix your knee pain and also unlock your hip mobility as well. Okay, super important. There's so many different mobility trainings online, but if you just follow the principle, this is how you can get long-term relief instead of just, a bunch of a 90-90 hip stretch and your body feel okay at the moment, but a couple hours later, you feel exactly the same. And this is what makes a difference. Okay.